happy people, Tracy Reed here today, coming at you with a layout using the Cocoa Daisy Chapters collection. And you can see I am going all in and using this adorable scene paper from the Chapters collection. I've been really leaning into these sort of different scene papers lately and trying my hand at making them work for my scrapping style. And I initially shied away from this one, but I really do think it's cute, and I wanted to lean into it and challenge myself to use it. So I am going to try and make my photos, my composition, work with the composition of the background paper. So what I did was I tore that plaid paper to act as a grounding paper for my composition to incorporate it into the bottom half. So I'm just going to go ahead and put that so that it looks like those lights are hanging from my photo. So it kind of already starts incorporating the top and the bottom together. And then I'm going to use this library pocket. I'm actually going to take it apart. I had folded it, but I'm going to take it apart so that it's not quite so bulky. Also because I'm not going to need to take the little library card out of it. So since I'm not going to have to remove it, everything's going to be glued down here. I'm just using it as decoration. So I'm going to stamp on the library card from the scrapbooking kit stamp set. I'm going to use that Let's Be Homebodies. I'm going to cut off the bottom part so that I don't waste any of the excess or any piece that I'm not going to use. And I'm going to grab some brown ink from my stash. This is Catherine Pooler ink. I have lots and lots of Catherine Pooler ink. The Over Coffee always seems to be the perfect brown for Cocoa Daisy collections, so we're going to use that one. And I'm going to stamp Let's Be Homebodies right here at the top of the card, and it's going to hang out of the top of the library pocket. I'm going to add in some of the little leaves as well, just to frame the Let's Be Homebodies. Okay, now that that is done, I can start putting the layout together, or at least this part of the layout together. So part of the challenge here was to make it look like the layout was a full scene and not my photos on top of the scene paper, if that makes sense. So I'm trying to incorporate ways, or find ways to incorporate my photos into the composition rather than have it float on top. I did want to map my photo just because I felt like it wasn't standing out of the background paper very well. So I'm going to mount it on yellow. It also brings in some of the yellow from the bottom of the background paper. There's a lot of yellow down there. So it brings some of that to the top as well, which helps to make it visually all look like one piece. And then I'm going to layer these two together with that library card. All right. So that is my photos down, and now I need to start embellishing in a way that makes the top half tie together with the bottom half and makes everything look like one big piece. Now, part of the way that I did that to begin with was to include that photo of me reading, that specific photo of me reading. One, I'm looking down because the book is on the floor, so I'm sort of looking down at the little animals below me too, but also it mimics all of those animals too. They are all looking down at the page, so it looks like we are all sort of reading together on the floor or on the mushroom or wherever we're all reading. We're all mimicking each other, and that helps to tie everything together. I become one of the animals in the scene. I'm going to use this big book stack. And I liked the fact that that said cozy chair plus book equals bliss when I'm on the floor. I thought that was amusing, but I decided to go with it. And then I have some of the rub-ons in mind, but there is already so much going on this page with that whole scene down there. I didn't want to add too many more things that look like they were a part of the paper, right? Part of it is I'm bringing the bottom up to the top with embellishments that add to the composition but don't look like they are part of the background paper. And so how I'm doing that is I'm adding things with texture or things that are not see-through like rub-on. So I'm using the chipboard or the die cuts instead. But I am going to use some of the rub-ons up where there are no parts of the scene. So you'll see what I mean here in a second. First, I'm using all the chipboard, except no, not this piece. This is going to go back. I'm going to use just one tag. I'm trying not to cover up anything important in my photos, but there's a lot of blank space in that, particularly the right-hand photo, like with my bed, that can be covered up a little bit because the main focus of the photo is supposed to be the books. So I put that cute little mouse on the mushroom. I liked that he was different than all of the rest of the animals, so it doesn't look, there's no repetition between the scene and the embellishment that I'm choosing. Looked like he was added in there. I'm going to use this little bird rub-on, and I'm going to do it up at the top here. I'm also going to use this clip, and by incorporating the semi-see-through rub-ons up here at the top, it makes them look like they are part of the scene at the bottom as well. So that's how I'm sort of dragging the top, or the bottom, up to the top. And the birdie's gonna go on my photo once I figure it out. Since he's going the same direction as the bird that's already on the page, I didn't want it to be like in the same area as that bird. So he went way over there on the right hand side so they didn't look like they were repeating themselves. All right, now to get these on the page so that they don't get messed up. Dun, da, da, da. It's always easiest to get it to stick to the photo. Comes right off. Paper, on the other hand, sometimes you gotta rub on a few more times. Perfect. Okay, so we're getting better here, but I feel like the front of that library card is a little bit blank, so I'm kind of thinking about what I want to add there and whether or not I want to add these puffy stickers as well. What I do end up doing is adding some more birds, or at least one more bird, and then I'm going to add these leaves around the whole page, and that sort of brings the whole thing together, I think, by framing all the composition with these leaves. They're floating everywhere from top to bottom. It frames the whole thing and makes it all look like one big scene. There we go. That's cute. Now to add to the top of that library card, and that's where I'm going to end up putting my journaling. So I'm going to actually pull out this washi tape, and it's going to go over my photo. Nope. It's going to go over the library card. So that's going to be the place where I start building my journaling spot. I really like the way that the two washi tapes look together. It's just one washi tape, but I like the way that they look together on that page. And actually, if I didn't want to journal, I would have just left that there and called it good, maybe added a title there. But instead, I decided to add this blue label, which I thought really popped well on the page. And that is going to be where I add my journaling, but I'm also going to add just a small title to the front of the library card as well, or the library pocket, with the alphabet. And it's going to say library, and I'm going to actually add another label to and handwrite part of the title. So let's start by adding the letters library right on the washi tape. And then the label as well goes right over the top of that other label. And I'm going to handwrite adding to, I believe, adding to our. And then I will add the journaling off screen. And that is it for this video. If you enjoyed it, I'd love it if you give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, go ahead and subscribe. I would love to have you. If you don't already, you can follow me over on Instagram. I'm at Tracy M. Reed. I'd love to see you over there as well. There is an affiliate link to Coco Daisy in the description box below if you are interested in starting a subscription. All right, thank you.